Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vikas Bajaj. Vic, it's great to have you on. Here's a George Washington University professor saying it's easier to impeach than to use the 25th Amendment. Watch him.
If you really want to get rid of a president in today's day and age, impeaching a president is probably the easiest path to take, because the first mover in this entire process is the president's hand-picked successor. Should the worst happen, the vice president. Nothing can happen without that position moving first.
Is he right, Vic?
Yes and no. It's a complicated onion with many layers. The problem is the vice president is a crucial actor. Under the 25th Amendment, the fourth clause, the vice president and a majority of the chosen hand-selected cabinet by the president have to get together and say, you know what, he's done good by us, but we're going to go ahead and cast a vote to have him removed. So then vice president becomes president. The impeachment process has a couple of hurdles to it, not the least of which is timing.
Right.
When we look at the 25th Amendment, we have 48-hour increments, another 48-hour increment followed by a 4-day increment. So it moves very fast in an effort by the framers to address incapacitation of the president to lead the country. Impeachment is a very interesting animal as it has metamorphosized here lately. If you just don't like a person or their policies or something about them, well, then you can move to impeach. But as we saw, that requires a trial, and that's a lengthy process.
What about your thoughts on for lack of a better term, a backdoor 25th Amendment? The New Yorker's Jeannie Gerson writes the following here, quoting, "This is what the 25th Amendment was designed for. Indeed, the 25th Amendment's removal mechanism is most useful right now for persuading Biden to leave the office voluntarily so that Harris can become the president for the remainder of the year." So he can use it as kind of a tool to convince the president that he really needs to leave.
That's an interesting take as well. It sort of ignores history. 1963 assassination of President Kennedy. That's what really led to this. We need to have an emergency policy in place to replace the president to run the country and to really be a leader of the free world. So to say that the 25th Amendment was put in place for this very reason is just a hopeful stretch on the text of the Constitution.
Yeah, not to get you involved in any political conversations here, but do you think there's a way, aside from impeachment, do you think it has to really become the president's decision whether he stays or goes, Vic?
It does in this particular case. I believe that's exactly right. Now, under the constitutional allotment, it's the vice president, majority of the cabinet. They make a decision. The president then has a ping pong ball to kick back to Congress to say, no, I'm actually competent. I reject this assertion. Then Congress has to have another vote to say we agree with your retort or we don't before finally a president can be removed. So it's a bit fictitious to say it's a backdoor, and it's a bit simplistic to say that this is what the 25th Amendment was designed for.
We shall see. Vic, thank you so much.
Thank you.